Good morning. I'm Richard Carlisle, President of the Delaware Association of Conservation Districts. 2021 marks the 66th year of the National Association of Conservation Districts observance of Soil and Water Stewardship Week. NACD Stewardship Week is one of the largest national programs to promote natural resource conservation. Celebrated annually since 1955 between the last Sunday in April and the first Sunday in May, NACD Stewardship Week reminds us of our individual responsibilities to care for natural resources. The stewardship concept involves personal and social responsibility, including a duty to learn about and improve natural resources as we use them wisely, leaving a rich legacy for future generations. As a farmer and a conservation district board supervisor, I have long been aware of the importance of conservation to my farm and to our local communities. Stewardship Week helps to remind us all of the power each person has to conserve natural resources and improve our world. NACD's 66th Stewardship Week will be celebrated April 25th through May 2nd, 2021. With the theme Healthy Forests, Healthy Communities. I thank you all who are able to join us today and would like to introduce Secretary Sean Garvin of the Delaware Department of Natural Resources and Environmental Control.
It's an honor to join Governor Carney today at the Conservation Awards. Today, as we highlight Soil and Water Stewardship Week, we're presenting the Governor's Annual Conservation Awards to 6 honorees for their contribution towards improving our watershed and caring for the health of our soils. These honorees work with DNREC, Delaware's 3 conservation districts, and USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service to implement model conservation practices on their farms, businesses, and projects. One of today's honorees spent her career with NRCS in the Newcastle Conservation District, dedicated to helping farmers improve their good stewardship. The awards highlight the beneficial outcomes of these relationships, and I would like to take a moment to recognize the hard work that has been done. In addition to today's honorees, I would also like to recognize a great partnership between DNREC and Delaware's conservation districts who provide invaluable support to DNREC's conservation mission. As a subdivision of the state, the conservation districts help Delaware meet its water quality objectives, protect agricultural resiliency and profitability, and facilitate the implementation of voluntary conservation practices. The district assesses conservation problems on the local level, set priorities for conservation efforts, and then carry out programs to solve these problems. Delaware's 3 conservation districts, 1 in each county, focus on land, water, and related resource problems, developing conservation programs to solve these problems, increasing awareness of interrelationship between human activities and the natural environment, and enlisting and coordinating help from public and private sources to accomplish these goals. The districts deliver technical and financial assistance to help empower people to do the right thing for the environment. Our honorees also received help from the USDA's Natural Resource Conservation Service. I want to recognize my friend and colleague, Casey Taylor, for her incredible leadership. The mission of the NRCS is helping people help the land. NRCS's achieves these missions by developing and contributing technology, offering technical assistance, helping to install systems, and providing financial assistance that encourages practices that conserve and protect our valuable natural resources. I would also like to mention Secretary Skuse and Delaware Department of Agriculture, our state's partner in conservation efforts and the environmental stewardship activities. Finally, a word about environmental stewards we are honoring today, people who do, donate, and practice. Doers go out and help the cause by taking action. Donors financially help the cause, and practitioners work on day-to-day basis to ensure responsible use and protection of our natural resources. Thanks for all that you do every day to champion the protection of our natural environment through conservation and suitable practices.
Good morning, all. I'm Casey Taylor, State Conservationist with the Natural Resources Conservation Service here in Dover, Delaware. As we highlight the Soil and Water Stewardship Week, we have the opportunity to recognize the honorees for their contributions towards improving our watersheds and caring for the health of our soils. The Natural Resources Conservation Service delivers conservation solutions with cutting-edge results. This is made possible in collaboration with the local conservation districts and the conservation partners at DNREC and DDA. As we turn a new chapter, we're committed to working closely with our traditional and non-traditional organizations. These efforts will help to expand voluntary conservation to support sustainability here in the First State. As we focus on our valued farmers, forest landowners, and tribes and partners in the implementation and delivery of conservation solutions, we remain committed to helping people help the land by achieving a resilient landscape for Delaware agriculture. As we look to the theme of healthy forests and healthy communities, we are reminded of the benefits of improving all sectors of agriculture to ultimately improve the environment for all Delawareans. I am so pleased to be a part of this ceremony to recognize the great work of our conservation stewards.
Hi everyone, I'm Governor John Carney. During Soil and Water Stewardship Week, it's a good time to think about the importance of clean water and caring for our state's watersheds. Clean water, as we know, is crucial to every Delawarean, and that's why I've made it a top priority for my administration. It's important to realize how our daily actions, habits, and decisions impact the quality of our water and the viability of our watersheds. In a few minutes, we will present 6 conservation awards as we do each year, and each of the recipients have made improving our watersheds a priority on their farms, in parks, and in communities statewide. The fact of the matter is we can all do our part to make a difference. This week's Soil and Water Stewardship theme is Healthy Forests, Healthy Communities. Trees and forests are critical to providing clean air and water, healthy soil, shade, abundant wildlife habitat, and valuable products that we use every day. We can care for trees by controlling invasive plants on our property, and so it's important to report invasive plant infestations to DNREC. You can also plant a native tree, and I would encourage all of you to do so. If you don't have yard space, then plant one in a large pot and place it on your deck or porch. I'd also like to encourage Delawareans of all ages to help care for our soil and water resources. Once again, you can do your part. Learn about your local watershed and the source of your community's water supply. Keep Delaware litter-free and properly dispose of all trash and recyclables. Volunteer for a community cleanup. And enjoy our parks, wildlife areas, and green spaces throughout our beautiful state. And on that note, I will now sign a proclamation for Soil and Water Stewardship Week. The Lieutenant Governor has already signed it. Let me read it for you. Whereas fertile soil and clean water provides us our daily sustenance, and whereas effective conservation practices have helped provide us with a rich standard of living, and whereas our food security depends upon healthy soil and water, and whereas the importance of water needs to be understood as it helps wildlife and their habitats, and whereas stewardship calls for each person to help conserve these precious resources, now therefore we, John Carney, Governor, and Bethany Hall Long, Lieutenant Governor, do hereby declare April 25th through May 2nd, 2021 as Soil and Water Stewardship Week in the state of Delaware, and urge all Delawareans to take responsibility in being a good steward of natural resources and remembering the importance of forests for employment and the quality of our life in Delaware. There we go. Soil and Water Stewardship Week.
It gives me great pleasure to introduce the Newcastle Conservation District's agricultural nominee for the Governor's Conservation Award. And her name is Marianne Hardesty. We are celebrating a 40-year career in agricultural conservation in Newcastle County. When Mary Ann first started working for USDA, then Soil Conservation Service, all the vehicles were manual transmission. There was no air conditioning in those vehicles, and oh, by the way, computers had not even been invented yet. Mary Ann has worked with nearly every farmer throughout Newcastle County. She's a charter member of the Envirothon work group, having first started working with that group in 1996, where she served with former county agent Dean Belt and then state soil scientist Dick Hall. It's hard to briefly describe all the work she's done on ag conservation throughout the county. Some examples include grass waterways, terraces, stream crossings, gully control, irrigation system management, ag waste management, rotational grazing, cover crop, times 20. Mary Ann has always worked on the wildlife side as well, being able to contribute significantly to agricultural land preservation programs and trying to keep agriculture viable, especially in the heavily developed areas of northern Newcastle County. She also developed a real expertise in the urban-suburban world and assisted the Conservation District and property owners with lawn management, vegetation management, and debris pit remediation, and general agriculture, urban and suburban stewardship. One of her colleagues described her as the conservationist's conservationist, and I think that's a perfect description. Mary Ann Hardesty has always, every day that she came to the office, has always been willing to help anyone who came to her for assistance, and we're happy to celebrate her 40-year career today. Congratulations, Mary Ann Hardesty. I'm here to introduce the Newcastle Conservation District's Urban Governor's Conservation Award for 2021, and that award is going to the Skyline Orchard Civic Association and General Excavating, the Conservation District's contractor. The severe August 2020 storms caused significant storm damage on the private roads in the community of Skyline Orchard, located on Brackenville Road near Ashland Nature Center. Several of their drainage pipes on several of these private maintained roads were filled with sediment, and resulting in severe uphill and downhill damage to the drainage system. For example, the drainage pipe on Dogwood Drive completely filled with sediment during the storm, resulting in the road being overtopped, and that overtopping almost caused complete road failure. The same storm event caused a large sinkhole on the Hemlock Drive portion of their road system, again filling the pipe with sediment and erosion down the hillside. These repairs required the removal of the accumulated sediment from the inlet basins, restoration of the downhill embankments, in some cases replacement or repair to the pipe system. Lots of work. The final cost to the project was $72,000. Significant was that Skyline Orchard Civic Association was well prepared to contribute to the project, and they were able to provide $29,500. The county councilperson, Janet Kilpatrick, provided $1,500, and State Representative Krista Griffith and State Senator Laura Sturgeon each provided $2,500 for a total of $5,000. And then the Newcastle Conservation District provided $36,000 for a total of $72,000. The damage was reported on August 18th. The project was initiated on September 23rd, and the repairs were completed about a month later on October 22nd. So it was a quick response to a severe storm event, and we were just pleased that the Conservation District, State Senator, State Representative, County Council person were all able to come together to help the community of Skyline Orchard.
Hi, I'm Tim Riley, District Coordinator with the Kent Conservation District, and I'm here today proud to read the proclamations for the awardees for Kent Conservation District. First, we have John and Linda Brown in our agricultural category, and they are poultry producers from Harrington, Delaware. John and Linda started their poultry operation with 2 poultry houses and have since expanded their operation to 6. They raised broilers for Purdue at a rate of 137,200 birds per flock and 5.5 flocks per year. Their operation also includes 2 poultry waste structures, one 40 by 40 foot and the other 40 by 92 feet, and an 8-bin poultry composter and 10 heavy use area protection areas, all of which have been installed with the assistance of the Kent Conservation District and USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service. Recently, the Browns converted their operation to organic, growing for Coleman Organic, and have installed solar panels to assist with the energy efficiency of their operation. As a side note, they also drive an electric car. They have also applied for the Environmental Quality Incentive Program, EQIP, through USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service to install 4 additional heavy use area protection concrete pads on 2 new poultry houses and an eco drum to handle mortality in a more efficient manner. The Browns were also awarded the Environmental Stewardship Award at Delaware Ag Week in January of 2019. And we are proud to have them as our awardees for this year in our agricultural category. In our urban category, we have a project that is the Kenton Dollar General in Kenton, Delaware. The owner of the project is Mr. William Owen, PTV 1024 LLC. The site engineer is Jonathan Street of Becker Morgan Group Incorporated. The Kenton Dollar General project, located in Kenton, overcame challenging site conditions through the use of a submerged gravel wetland facility. Due to the high groundwater table at this location and presence of environmentally sensitive areas surrounding the site, traditional stormwater management practices were ruled out by the owner's engineering firm, Becker Morgan. Submerged gravel wetlands treat stormwater runoff primarily through filtration, sedimentation, physical and chemical absorption, microbial mediated transformation, uptake, and attenuation. Sedimentation occurs in the pretreatment forebay as well as above the wetland surfaces. Filtration, sorption, and transformation occur as the stormwater passes through the gravel substrate via microbe-rich environment. While uptake occurs from the wetland vegetation, most of the treatment is within the gravel substrate in a plug flow type system. This project represents the first use of a submerged gravel wetland approved by the Kent Conservation District for use in Kent County. Having this first project constructed helps demonstrate the cost effectiveness and applicability of submerged gravel wetland facilities. This site will serve as an example and will encourage its use on other challenging sites where traditional stormwater approaches may not be an option. Thank you.
The recipient of the 2021 Governor's Conservation Award for Agriculture in Sussex County is Blaine Hitchens of Laurel, Delaware. Following in his father's and grandfather's footsteps, farming nearly 1,000 acres in the Chesapeake Bay watershed. His operation consists of a cropland in a corn, soybean, and cover crop rotation, as well as 6 poultry houses with a capacity of 150,000 broilers. Hitchens began his soil health journey with no-till over 15 years ago, adding cover crops about 10 years ago. And more than 5 years ago, he began planting green. Now, every acre has a living root growing year-round. In addition, Blaine has regularly participated in SCD's cover crop cost share program. Additional nutrient, irrigation, pest, poultry, and water quality best management practices have been implemented through NRCS's EQIP and other Farm Bill programs. These conservation efforts reduce overall nutrient applications, prevent runoff and soil erosion, and absorb excess nutrients which protect and improve water quality, all while making his operation more sustainable. In 2019, Blaine became an NACD Soil Health Champion and hosted the Planting Green Soil Health Field Day. He was featured in the USDA NRCS Our Farmer's Road Trip story map and Conservation at Work no-till video, SCD's cover crop commercial, and several Cloud to Cab podcasts. He was also selected to participate in a national economic case study by the Soil Health Institute in partnership with NACD. In 2020, Hitchens shared his experiences with soil health and cover crops as a panelist during a virtual event and was featured in news articles. Most recently, Hitchens applied for and has been pre-approved for High Tunnel. His passion for soil health and his dedication to conservation is evident in everything he does. The recipients of the 2021 Governor's Conservation Award for Urban Conservation in Sussex County are Michael and Angela White for the Trap Pond Road White Floodplain Creation Project. Completed in October 2020, the Trap Pond Road White Floodplain Creation Project was designed to alleviate drainage challenges on the White's property and reconnect the Beaver Dam Branch stream flow channel to a wetland floodplain. The property lies in the headwaters of the Chesapeake Bay in the Broad Creek watershed. Beaver Dam Branch continuously flooded the White's property during significant rain events, where it crossed East Trap Pond Road in Laurel. Unable to recede properly, standing water often made the property inaccessible and unusable. It was also a breeding ground for bacteria and pests. Creating the wetland floodplain required removal of several trees and the relocation of an existing utility pole. The newly created floodplain provides temporary storage space for floodwater, which slows water velocity, helping to recharge groundwater. Lowering the stream bank allows floodwaters to contact vegetation sooner and more frequently, which provides water quality treatment by absorbing nutrients. The regraded site enables water to advance and recede without becoming trapped, preventing property damage. Over a dozen native plant species were added to stabilize, enhance, and provide nutrient uptake at the site, which will also provide a habitat for wildlife. This project required coordination with property owners, Michael and Angela White, and the Department of Natural Resources and Environmental Control's drainage section. Funding for the project was provided by Representative Tim Dukes, Senator Bryant Richardson, and DENREC's RC&D program. The project covered approximately 400 linear feet, was approximately 1 acre in size, and was constructed in 3 weeks by SCD.
Thank you to all the awardees for your service and dedication. A special thank you to Marianne Hardesty, who I've had the privilege of seeing firsthand move conservation forward here in the First State. We are so very proud of you and every awardee recognized today.
Thank you to today's award recipients for your excellent conservation and sustainable practices.
Thank you to those recipients who we recognize today and for your efforts to promote, advise, and implement stewardship practices in Delaware.
Thank you to today's award recipients for your commitment to clean water and good stewardship of our natural resources here in Delaware.